I'm going to go deep. I'm going to share like a very personal story with people that people can learn through. And once I really hit the heart of it, that's when the sales, I think the results really started showing up.
Hello, peaceful millionaires. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I am so excited to have $1 million emailer here to talk about their experience with $1 million email and healing from social media burnout and the relationship to social media in this program. I am just so excited to talk about it. So please introduce yourself and tell people who you are, who you help, all the things.
Hi, thanks for having me, Kirsten. My name is Leandra Rose, and I help spiritual entrepreneurs and visionaries master their nervous system so that they can have the wealth and the impact that they want, because the nervous system is the foundation for all of it. Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Amazing. And what made you, especially as a healer, what made you want to invest in email marketing and that skill set?
Well, I started my business before social media was my healing business started in person. Then when COVID happened and everything went completely online, it was so cool because my business went completely online and things were really taking off. As you know, things were a little different in those days.
Totally.
And selling online was super easy using social media specifically. And then over the years, the algorithms have shifted and my sales weren't what they were. And I also wasn't as excited to show up on social media in that way that the algorithms are now demanding, in a different way than they were before. And so when I saw your program come across, like, make social media optional, I'm like, sign me up, take my money,
Yes.
let's go. Yeah.
Yes. How was social media feeling at that time? Like, what was the day to day for you when it came to being on social media?
Yeah. So lately, it's felt like a drag. It's felt like a chore. I feel like when I first started bringing my work on social media, it felt very authentic, sharing in the moment. I was in my stories every day and connecting with people. It felt like I was connecting with people,
Yeah.
with real people. And I feel like lately social media has felt like I'm not connecting with real people. It feels noisier. It feels something that you said too. It's become an entertainment app. Whereas before it felt like a social media app where we were actually connecting with one another. And now it feels like an entertainment app, and I'm not an entertainer.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, even in my personal life, like, my friends would never be like, oh, Leandra, she's the entertainer. I am not the entertainer. I am the one you come to for like the deep, potent truths, but like, Leandra's not the one you go to party with, you know?
Yeah, totally. I
Yeah.
love that. So, okay, you joined $1 Million Email, and what happened next for you when you joined?
I started feeling like the hopefulness of growing my business in a way that wasn't reliant on social media. And for a long time, being a nervous system coach, for a long time, I was feeling that my nervous system was overwhelmed with everything that social media requires. Like, you open up that app and now you have to make all these decisions about where your attention goes, and it's intense. And so I was feeling this call to take a break from social media. But my business brain was like, but now your business is completely on social media.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to make money if you listen to this intuitive nudge to take a break from social media? And so email gave me that way out of relying on social media.
Yeah, that's such a similar story to my own, because a huge reason why I was burning out was because my nervous system was already just activated just in business in general with all the things, but also by social media, especially when I was growing my business. It felt like, and not that it doesn't still feel this way, but it felt like everything was on fire at that time. And it was so activating to go on social media, and like you said, your attention is being pulled and you have to try to sell and all the things. And it was so overwhelming to me, like very overwhelming to my nervous system. And I was similar, where I was like, I feel like I need a detox. I feel like I need to go offline, but how could I possibly do that? I personally was already, doing email, but I hadn't gone all in, even though I knew that it was like the place to go. And I was like, no, my nervous system needs to go all in on email. So what happened when you went on all in on email?
Yeah. So the beautiful thing, like I said, my business started before social media. So I did know there was value in building an email list,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how to use it. So
Mm.
it was small over the years of, people trickling into my email because I didn't have any strategy. I didn't know how to bring people in. It was just like, oh, you liked my workshop, sign up for my email list. But I have no idea what I'm offering you via email. I'm not really using email. Anyway, so I had a small email list, probably under about 600 when I started. So then I had these people there, went all in on email and started making sales on email, which was like, okay, I can do this. And then, like I said, my intuition had been nudging me to do a social media detox. So finally, at the end of last year, 2024, in December, I was like, okay, December is going to be a slow month. I'm good. I'm going to take a month off of social media and I'm just going to go all in on email and let's see what happens. And I ended up having a $40,000 month in December with no social media. And I wanted how many emails did I send? Like 10? I didn't
Wow.
even do like, I wasn't even
A
sending
whole
like 10 a
strategy.
day. But I think I don't know, maybe I sent more than 10, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that many. And it was a very easeful process. And after
Mhm.
that, that was in December. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've got my email community is strong now. And I know we haven't talked about this yet, but speaking of my email community being strong, you helped me to create an email asset through the weekly newsletter, the
Yeah.
weekly email series.
Yeah.
And I am loving that. It's like my Sunday church.
Yes.
It really is. I like to write it on Sundays. I had this idea like, oh, I'll write them in advance, but there's something about like sitting down and really connecting to
Mhm.
my community and writing something from my heart. So I feel like it's alive. My email community feels alive and connected and yeah.
You just helped me articulate something that I haven't been able to before, which is that so many times people come to me like burnout in their marketing overall or burnout from social media or, just feeling like disconnected, even if it's not full on burnout, just disconnected. And that's exactly what email does is it reconnects you because you feel like you are, first of all, you're like writing this love letter to your audience, right? Every week. And then also it's just this like safe space for you and your community and to like really, and that connection is actually what ends up making you so much more money and easier. So I love that. That's a huge part of why email is really like such a, in my opinion, and I'm sure yours too, like a nervous system friendly business strategy because of how it reconnects you to what you're doing and to your people. So
Yeah, yeah,
good.
exactly. It feels like a safe space.
Yeah.
And I'm not tracking, like, what is the algorithm going to think about these words? I don't have to think about SEO. It's
Yeah.
literally just from my heart. It's also long form. So
Mhm.
I don't have to limit what I say. It's been
Yeah.
really beautiful. I get so many responses from my Sunday emails. And it's been beautiful.
And you said you've been hitting 20K months since then as well,
Yeah.
on average. What are your offers and what's the pricing?
Yeah. So right now I'm focused on my one-on-ones,
Mm,
which is 12K
mm,
for a package and my monthly workshops. I do a monthly somatic recalibration every month that's public, where I take one of the processes that I do in my somatic alchemy method that I work with
mm,
people one on one. I take one of those processes and I teach people how to do it for themselves. And those have been amazing. That's about $44 a
mm.
workshop, but we've had, 50 to 60 people in them. So that's another couple thousand a month. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So you're doing high ticket and low ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I like people to see that. Like you can do both. It's not just like low ticket, it's also high ticket too. What has been, well, let me ask you this first. How fast did you see results in MDE?
I think once I really implemented
Yeah.
everything, it was like immediately after
Mhm.
implementing everything. I think in the beginning I was like dabbling and learning the systems and learning like how is email going to fit into what I'm already doing. And then once I really dove in, and I think especially after I created the email series,
Yeah.
I had created one in the beginning because you were like, just get one out there. I don't care
Yes.
what it is, right? So I did. I had my beta test. And
Yes.
then I was like, oh, this is actually what it's supposed to be. It's really supposed to be like Sunday church. I'm going to
Mm,
go deep. I'm going to share like a very personal story with people that people can learn through. And once I really hit the heart of it, that's
mm,
when the sales, I think the results really started showing up.
yeah. What are you doing now with social media?
Social media gets my scraps.
Yeah. I love it.
Social media gets me when like I'm like, "Oh, I have extra energy. Oh, I want to like post
Yeah.
something random in my stories." Yeah, social media is on the back burner. I'm
Mm.
still using it. It's growing somehow,
Yeah.
interestingly. It's growing right now for the first time in a long time because I hadn't put any energy into it, but I'm not putting any energy into growing it. Whereas before I was like, okay, let me learn this algorithm. Let me figure out what just shifted. How do I do this? How do I do that? Now I'm like, I'm just going to post whatever I feel like posting. Some of
Mm.
it's personal, some of it's business related. And yeah, it's a lot more fun. It
Yeah.
definitely feels like you made social media optional for me.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And oftentimes we do have people that they come in like hating social media and wanting to be away from it. And then they're like neutral about it. They're like, you know what? It's not so bad. But also, I don't necessarily want to be here a lot. And so I love to hear that too, where it's like, just because we want to be social media optional doesn't mean we want to hate social media either, because that's not a good energy to have, right? And so it's just like we could just be neutral about it and be like, it's okay either way. So I love to see that you got there. So, so good. So, what is your favorite framework or like thing that you've learned inside Million Dollar Email?
Well, I think I said it already, but I would say the weekly email series and
Yeah.
really nailing that because it's really created this
Mm.
deeper connection in this community. And then selling from there feels like so easy and natural because there is a beautiful exchange, it feels like.
Mm.
One thing that's helped me tremendously is focusing on one thing per email.
Mm. I was going to ask you, what's been your challenge with email? Yeah.
Probably like focusing on one thing, which is yeah, I think why my Sunday emails are like from my heart and story based, but
Yeah.
when it comes to marketing emails, being able to like, okay, am I focused on the one thing right now?
Yeah.
Has been a good reminder every time I go to write them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. And then do you have a favorite feature? Like, are you someone that loves the copy reviews or you love the weekly calls or what's your favorite feature?
I love having the copy reviews there.
Mhm.
That's been really helpful when I feel stuck and just share those and have feedback. You have an amazing team. It feels like there's
Thank you.
always someone there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. I love to hear that. Thank you. Anything else you would want to share? I would love for you to speak to like the healers of the world. Like, what would
Mm.
you say to them? Because in my experience, what I get a lot of is my people don't want to read emails or like I can't be too salesy or, things like that, like thoughts like that. What would you say to them?
Well, I have an amazing story.
Yeah.
So, I also, being a healer, uh, I also have had the stories that like, oh, people don't want to be sold to so much. And what if all these people on my email list, what if I start sending all these emails Kirsten's telling me to send and they hate it and they all leave because they don't like being sold to. Okay. So then I went all in. When was it? It was last year. It was before December, actually. I did a launch for a mastermind that I was leading, a business mastermind, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all in, like Kirsten says. I'm gonna send like 5 freaking emails a day. I'm gonna tell them everything there is to know about this mastermind. And pretty quickly into my campaign, I got an email that was like my worst fear, which
Mm.
was somebody in my community saying, this is too many emails. And they were like, Leandra, I thought you were different than all those other people. I thought you weren't all about the money. I thought you were a real healer. And I thought blah, blah, blah. But let
Mm.
me tell you what happened. Okay. So immediately I was triggered.
Of course.
And then I came down and I was like, wait a minute. this woman is the exact kind of person that I want to help out of this, because
Yeah.
I know she wants a business. She's someone who's a healer and wants to make money. So I used it as a coaching opportunity, and I was very loving and firm with her. Right. I wrote her back and I was like, you know, here's why I'm sending all these emails. Here's the why behind what I do. And I'm actually really passionate about helping healers to get their voice out there so they can sell their work so that we can change the freaking world. Like, let's do this. Like, how are people going to find us if we're not, shouting it from the rooftops? And if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. And she wrote back and was actually so grateful. And
Wow.
she was like, your email actually made me cry. And you touched something really deep inside of me. And how do I work with you? Where do I sign up? And she
Wow.
became one of my like most beloved clients.
That's incredible. And I love that you stepped into your leadership, because it's like, yeah, and we tell you this in MDE. We're like, you might get some negative emails. Like, we're not saying you're not going to get them, right? You might get them, but I promise you, the people that want to work with you are going to work with you. And I love that we always tell people you can choose not to reply, right? You can reply if you want to, but you don't owe anyone anything. And I love that you were like, you know what? This can be a way, because it's also setting the tone for your email list overall, especially just energetically in general. I feel like, no, no, no. When I receive emails like this, people need to know this is where I stand. And I like that you took that upon yourself and use that. And then look, you get clients. So good. And it's always interesting, because when you were talking, what I was hearing was, sounds like she needs some healing. That's what was coming up for me. And so when you're getting a negative email, no matter who you are, whether you're a healer or a business coach, whatever, really thinking about, this has nothing to do with the emails. Like, this is something else that they don't like. This is their thoughts about selling, their thoughts about their experience with other people. This has nothing to do with the emails itself, because now I bet you she loves getting all your emails because you're her dream coach.
She does. And she's one of the ones who responds all the time to my emails.
I love
she
it. That's
she
so
loves my
funny.
emails. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things that I've seen, because I work with healers, is it's a nervous system issue for people to receive so many emails. And
Yes.
when they understand how to navigate their own boundaries and energy, then they're like, oh, then I don't feel attacked by somebody's email. And I don't feel like, when you learn how to master your nervous system, whether you're on the receiving end of sales or you're the one doing the selling, you realize that we are all consenting adults here, and that we're not attacking each other with our sales.
If I could put that on a billboard, because I'm not joking. Oh, okay. There was this Threads discourse for a while. It was like last year. And of course I got thrown into the mix of it. Like my name and my program was being thrown around this idea of being overselling and activating other people's nervous systems. It's very overwhelming for me, and it's very this and it's very that. And I had a lot of clients that were coming to $1 Million Email that were like, what do we do about that? Where it seems like that's the general thing. And I was like, first of all, Threads is a very small place still. That's not everyone. But also, what I told them was, I was like, it sounds like they need inbox boundaries. It sounds like they need to do some automatic filtering, click a few buttons on their Gmail, or it sounds like that they need to. So whenever someone would say that to me, like, you're overwhelming me, I would always use that response where I'm like, you can filter my emails at any time. You can unsubscribe at any time. You have full agency and control over this experience. But I love that you said that, where it's like, it's your own nervous system that needs work. That has nothing to do with the emails that I'm sending and the frequency or anything like that.
Yeah. And how that ripples out into our business and into our life, right? Like, being responsible only for my adult self as
Yes.
a marketer, as someone who's selling too. If I don't honor that I am an adult and they are a capable adult, then I'm over here trying to manage everybody's nervous system. Like,
Yes.
I don't know, maybe Sally, who's on my email list because I know she's going through something, maybe I should send less because she's kind of overwhelmed right now. Like, I'm trying to manage everybody's nervous system. That's not how it works. We are adults and we get to master our own nervous system and then let everybody else take care of
And
themselves.
that's just hurting your nervous system so much. That people pleasing is what burns people out. And like,
100%.
I always tell people, I'm like, it's not the social media or the thing itself or the email itself. It's the fact that it's all your thoughts about it. It's all the action is simple, but like you said, your nervous system is so overwhelmed. And it's like, if you're people pleasing, it's only hurting you, worrying and trying to manage it. And that will never help your sales. Never, never, never. It's such a key aspect of sales is nervous system work, for sure. I firmly believe that. So good. One of my favorite stories, I'll be quick, but one of my favorite stories is actually I had gotten a bunch of negative emails one time in a launch and my nervous system like freaked out. And then I literally like took some time, regulated it, and I ended up doubling my emails the next day because I was like, you know what? No, I am going to like stand in my truth. And I believe that if I send more emails, more people will come. And I ended up having a huge launch because of it. But yeah, if I had like used it to be like, maybe they're right and believe them right away, that wouldn't have helped anybody. So good. So good. Okay. Any final suggestions or like words of wisdom for someone considering joining $1 Million Email? Anything that you want to say or share?
I cannot think of a single reason why a business owner would not want to join $1 Million Email,
Thank you.
honestly. Not only have I learned so much about email through your program, Kirsten, but I've been an entrepreneur for many years before I did $1 Million Email. I've also learned so much about my business. Like, I've
Mm,
gotten so much more clarity about my business through the processes. I didn't share this, but the offer story process,
yes.
so helpful for a visionary brain like mine to have such a clear framework for every single offer and be like, okay, this is my offer promise. Do not veer away from this, like,
Mm,
because my visionary brain sometimes wants to be like, no, it's about this and that and da da da. Anyway, the offer story has been phenomenal, but things that I've learned about my business and the clarity that I've gotten about my business on top of learning obviously highly effective email strategy has been incredible. I recommend it to everybody.
so,
Yeah, all
so
of my
happy to hear.
clients need to take $1 Million Email too. I definitely,
So
yeah.
happy to hear that. And that's honestly, we say that a lot internally. We're like, email, it's an email program, but it's not just an email program. It's a life coaching program. It's a business coaching program in so many ways, because what ends up happening is we're like, oh, this is affecting that. And this is like, it's always, we always have clients that are like, it's so much more than email. So I love hearing that, because that's intentional, because we want you to feel like you just have all the support you need to succeed. So good. Thank you so much. Tell people where they can find you if they want to work with you.
Yeah. So you can find me at leandrarose.com. And you can find me playing on Instagram too at I am Leandra Rose on Instagram. I'm only there when I feel good and happy. So come on over. We can play there.
I love it. And sign up for those Sunday church emails. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
So good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.